All right, let's get started. I just open the designer, Substance 3D designer, and before do anything, let's go to preference, and inside the project, and change the default map format to OpenGL. I'm using OpenGL. You can use the DirectX if you want to, and nothing else. Hit OK and start. Go to File, or simply click on this new substance graph, and let's call this one broken tiles. Don't forget to put that output format to 16-bit per channel to have enough depth for our height. So 2048 by 2048, it's a nice resolution to have. So empty, and hit OK, and it's gonna create a base graph for us. Double click on the empty graph, and as you can see here, we have output format 16-bit per channel and no parameters for preview. So let's start by adding a base material. Hit space and type base material. Go to your base material by hitting double click, and let me close this base parameters. Here I'm gonna set the workflow to metallic roughness by default, and material preset dielectric, and for the height, let me to user defined map, this section enable the normal. It's gonna expose the normal for you to have input normal, and height, and also ambient occlusion. Height range, change that to 0 to 1. Height position by default is 0.5. That's good. Let's leave it there. Now we have normal, height, ambient occlusion for input, and all of these channels for output. So let's create the outputs quickly. Click and right click on base material. Create output nodes. It's going to tell you to ask you to create a node for hidden contractors. We don't need to have diffuse and base color at the same time, or glassiness and roughness at the same time. So hit no, and it's gonna create a base color, normal, roughness, metallic, height, and ambient occlusion, and also connect them to the output. So that's our output. Let's quickly create a normal input, the ambient occlusion input. So space, and look for height to normal world space unit. Double click, surface all the way up, and this height depth, let's keep that 5 for now. Normal format is gonna set OpenGL by default, because as you may remember a moment ago, we set that here by default to OpenGL. So connect that to input, space, and ambient occlusion HBAO. Double click, set that to world space unit, and you're gonna set that to 10 and maybe 16 sample. Connect that to your ambient occlusion input. All right. Now we almost set. Right click to the on the empty part of the graph, and view output in 3D view. Check that. Now we are seeing the output of this material to the 3D view. All right. The camera is a little bit off. The Let me go to camera, inside 3D view, edit selected. The focal length, let me set that to 50. Yeah, that's nice. All right, beautiful. Let's go to your Explorer here. Right click on unsaved package and save as. Let me go to here to the folder broken tiles.sps and hit save. Right, now we are saved the material and are ready to go. So every tile material starts with a tile generator. If you go to your library and texture generators, you have quite a few tiles here, tile generator created for you by default. You can use that, but those are not that great. You don't have that flexibility. So hit right click, tile, and here we have tile generator and also tile generator color, tile randomize, tile random, and tile random color, and tile random 2. I don't know, maybe I created this one, I don't know, and a tile sampler. I'm gonna use tile sampler and the gray one, not the color one. We are working in gray channel in height part. So create a tile sampler. By default, the input value is a square, a simple square. We can use that, but as I said before, we don't have that flexibility. So let's change the input. Double click on the tile sampler. First of all, let's set the X amount to 8 and Y to 8, 8 by 8. And inside the pattern, let's set that to pattern input. Here, you have control over pattern input number up to 6 input. So for now, let's create the input by a shape node, space and type shape. Here, quite a few shape in here. You can choose between different shapes. I'm gonna use the square by default, and I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller, maybe 0.7 or 8. 0.8. All right. If I connect that to input, it's gonna load that. All right. Let's go to size section inside tile sampler. Set the tile to 1. All right. Maybe a little bit more. 1.2 or maybe 1.3. No, 1.2. All right. Now, let me see. Yeah. Let's add a blur after this tile, this square, to make the edges a little bit popped out and smooth. So space and type blur. Choose the blur HQ grayscale. As you see, there is a blur HQ color, and be careful to not mistake between these two. This one is for color, as you can see here, and also the vector map inside tile sampler. These are input and output for color value. We are working with grayscale value. You can grab the output, drag that, let go, then search for blur, and it's gonna show you only grayscale values. Now we have a smooth edged square. Connect that, double click on tile sampler. Nice. Now let me quickly connect that to the output. Connect the output for tile sampler to input of height, the normal. Connect the raw tile sampler to height, also to ambient occlusion. the where is it? The 8 and 8 by 8 is a little bit too much. So let's change that to 6 by 6. Yeah, it's a little bit better. All right. If you're not seeing the height, actual height and displacement like so, quickly go to your 3D view, material, default, edit. In here, you have control over your material that you're seeing inside 3D view. So tiling and other good stuff. Here, DirectX normal, by default it's false because we changed that into a setting. So we have a height section, tessellation factor. I'm gonna put that a little bit up, maybe all the way up. And height scale, if I zoom really close, it's set to 1 by default. If I increase that, as you can see, we're changing the shape. Set that to 1 by default. All right, that's good. Grab this whole thing and put it here. All right, click on shape, hit D, click on blur, hit D, and dock them together. Now we need to have the let me grab the concept or reference. We need to have the cement behind the tiles. So let's quickly make that. I'm gonna duplicate this tile sampler, but if I hit Control D now, it's gonna undock the input value. You have two ways to do that. You can create a tile sampler, new tile sampler. In the old one, up here, save the preset. Maybe it's disk. I'm gonna name that quickly. Inside the new tile sampler, load that preset. If I connect the input, as you can see, we are getting the same result. Or quickly hit Control D, then get rid of this input value. Let's set that to input value. I'm gonna create another input. So all right, for this circular things here behind the tiles that affecting the cement, let's create a gradient linear 2. Yeah, it's good. Now a shape mapper. Where is it? Shape mapper. And it's gonna map the shape, the input shape or default shape here. I'm gonna input that. It's gonna make it circular. And now if I tile the gradient, it's gonna make this effect that you're seeing right here, similar to this shape. It's a little bit too small and too much of the ring, so we quickly change that, change the width and radius. Now let's feed that to the new tile sampler, and now we have something like this. All right, we go to shape mapper and reduce the size. Yeah, that's matched. All right, now we need to connect these two tile sampler together. How? Let's go to the old tile sampler, the tile, actual tile. Inside the X amount here, this drop down, expose to graph parameter. Let's call this tile, copy the name, put it in label, and also put that in pattern group. Hit OK. All right. Now, for the Y amount drop down, this tile that we just created appears here. Select that. Now these two input number connected together. So if I change one of them, we have ability to change both Y and X amount. In the new tile sampler, same deal. Go here and choose tile. Now this 4 input connected together, where double click in empty space, go to your parameter preview. Now we have a pattern group. If I open up that, you have your input tile. It says 6, let's change that to 8, and both of them changing at the same time. So it's back to 6. All right. Right then, now let's add a background and destroy this linear gradient. So to do that, first of all, let's destroy that by using a slope blur. Space and type slope blur grayscale, and a slope blur is gonna destroy the shape or slope the shape based on a input. So I'm gonna connect the output value of tile sampler to the grayscale input. Let's put that down, and maybe with the cloud grunge, cloud, I guess 2. Connect that to slope, double click. It's a disaster, so we need to make some changes. Sample all the way up, intensity down, 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 down. By default, it's gonna change the white and black, or mean and max, then blur that out. But we need to work with the mean value only, or darker value. So it's gonna destroy the darker value. If I double click on the slope blur, one click on cloud, I can see the slope blur into the view, then change the value for cloud input. Let's scale that up a little bit, not that much. Let's change the input to cloud 1. And change the intensity of slope blur to something lower. Yeah, let's delete that. Nice. Now let's blend this new circular shapes to a cementy background. So how we do that? By using a height blend. So space, type height blend. And before do anything, let's go and increase the contrast to all the way up to 1. So output of slope blur to height top, output of cloud to background. Now if I double click, as you can see, we have a background and foreground together. But we need to tile this cloud. We have 2 ways to do that. First of all, Control D and duplicate the cloud, connect that, and now tile. Yep, that's simple. Or create a transform, connect the output of cloud to transform, output of transform to background height. Now inside the transform, one click on transform, right click, And let's divide that, yeah, to make a divided version by 2 or 4 of the cloud. All right, that's good, but I'm preferred use new cloud. So now we have more control over cloud on the slope blur or height. So inside the height blend, if I change the height offset, as you can see inside the here in 2D view, if I drop that, I'm going to change the height position of these two shapes. Something missing. Let me create a blend. Put this circular shape to background and a maybe cloud 2. Tile that a couple of times. Connect that to foreground. Set multiply. Maybe more tile. Maybe subtract and a less opacity. Now let's connect that to foreground and change the height blend. Not bad, but let's try the what's that called? BNW noise. Spotted 3, and let's connect that to here. All right, and it's gonna make a cementy shape. Yeah, not bad. All right, let's connect the whole thing to the output by holding shift, grabbing this 3 output and transferring to output of height. All right, this is the output shape. Maybe inside the height blend, add a little bit more of that circular shapes. Maybe a little bit less tiling here. Yeah, that's good. All right, let's continue. We created a tile and cement behind the tile. So next step, a little bit of dent. Let me quickly grab this tile. A little bit of dent and damage here outside of the silhouette of the tiles. So let's do that by duplicating the same tile sampler. This time though, I'm gonna hit Ctrl D, because if I do that, I have still the X amount and Y amount connected to the old tile sampler. So it's nice. Let me feed that with same tile. All right. Now, after that, let me invert it. So space, invert grayscale. We are working with the grayscale value. So the inverted version is a little bit something like this. All right. Now we need to destroy this outside silhouette of the tiles. So let's go and create another slope, or duplicate the slope with cloud, hit Ctrl D, move them up, feed the grayscale with neo input, and now we have a little bit something like this. Before that, let's add another node called warp. So space, get a warp, feed the warp, and also the gradient input. Let's use Perlin noise. And it's gonna warp the shape based on input value and also the intensity, the only option it has. So drop the intensity, one click on Perlin, and drop the Perlin noise scale. All right, now fit that to slope blur. Right, now we have something like this. Let me show you another way to create a destroyed something like this here inside 2D view. Let's hit space and use one of the new nodes to a subset to the designer called multi-directional warp scale, grayscale. So create that, fit the warp to the input, and a little bit of intensity. Let's change that to something higher, and maybe use the cloud one again. Control D, create another copy, connect that to second value, and it's gonna destroy the shape based on this cloud. A little bit something like the slope blur, but more advanced. So we have control over modes, average, max, mean, and chain. Let's use average, and maybe less and less or more high scale of cloud. All right. Now let me get rid of this slope, and now we need to combine these two together. So first of all, let me hit D for every input to make the graph more manageable. All right. Now we need to subtract this new shape out of this height and blend shape. So let me hit A space and B enter, or blend. Put the height blend to the background. Put the outside shape or silhouette to foreground, and change the blending mode to subtract. As you can see, it's gonna destroy the whole shape, and the whole shape is disappeared. So we need to decrease the opacity. Decrease the opacity to around here. All right, it's a little bit too uniform. So to break the tiles, let me add another blend. Put this shape to background. And we can use a Perlin noise. Let's use that. Perlin noise. Connect it to foreground. Drop the scale for Perlin to something like this. Here, set that to multiply. And as you can see, some part of the shape, it's gonna appears more dark. Let me go quickly to the grunge, and let's see if I have anything more nice in there. The Perlin noise. Maybe something like this. Drag and drop it here. Let's connect that to input. Maybe balance that to something like this. All right, that's better. So let's delete the Perlin. D to duck the grunge. All right, now let's connect that to foreground. Yep, We have some places a little bit dent and others not so much. Here. Hold shift and transfer the connection. As you can see, inside the 3D view, not that visible, so let me quickly increase the opacity. All right, now you can see that in 3D view as well. A little bit glossy, so let's go to original base material. We didn't expose the roughness, so we have control over roughness through the base material option. So let's add a little bit roughness towards white, something like this. All right. All right, nice. Now let's connect all of these together for a test. So let's create a height blend. Put the tile to foreground, contrast to 100% or 1. This one goes to background. Nothing happens except a little bit of cement underneath of tiles. So if I change the height blend offset, it's gonna be something like this. All right, let's keep the height blend for now and create a little bit of mortar for the inside of the tiles. Same thing that we did for this this dent. So let me select them and hit Ctrl D, put them down. All right. Now let me go and add a little bit of blur between the warp and multi-directional warp grayscale. Select the line, hit a space, and type blur. Choose blur grayscale. By default, intensity is a little bit too high, so let me put that down. And no need to increase the quality. So now we expand the effect just like that. All right, a little bit less intensity, and this is cement, so let's blend that, put this one in background, blend that with a BNW, maybe a spot 2, and subtract. All right, drop the opacity to around maybe 0.5. All right, now let's use the height blend. Put this mortar thing to the background and tile to the foreground. All right, now let's balance the tile and the mortars. A little bit something like this. We need to have a little bit of imperfection to the tiles, so let's hit double click on tile sampler for the actual tile. Let's go down to the position. If I move the position, as you can see, it's a little bit too wild, so let's put a really small value to make that not that man-made. So yeah, something like that. If I put a 0.5 to the offset value, as you can see, we're getting some stone work, something like that, and we need to have a little bit of offset, not that much, as you can see here. It's not matched quite like a man-made thing, so yep, that's that. And also a little bit of a random rotation. Small value. That's too much. Yeah, around here. All right, now let's duplicate this tile sampler and replace that with a new setting. Delete. Now we have that effect also appears here. All right, let's go back to tile sampler, add a little bit of height difference between tiles, a little bit, not that much, and that would be achieved inside the color section and color random. A little bit of color random, as you can see here inside 2D view, little bit. All right, that's good. Let me duck new values or inputs, make the graph a little bit nicer. All right, let's transfer the connection by holding shift and click, drag and drop that here. This is what we're getting out of tiles. It's a little bit too much blurry, so let's go to the original shape, drop the intensity for height, or sorry, the intensity of blur. Nice. Maybe add a little bit of height for the mortars. Right now we have some heights going on. All right, the cement is a little bit too rough, so let's add a blur after making the cement. Small amount of blur, something like this, quality all the way up. And now let's connect that to the height blend. Maybe that's a little bit too much, so 0.1. Yep, good. All right, we created tiles and mortar so far, and also the cement behind the tiles. So let's continue and add this broken tile effect. How we do that? By using something called float fill and float fill mapper, I guess. So let's create a float fill. Connect the tiles output to the float fill. It's gonna make a something like this for guide, right? Then after that, another float fill type float, and here float fill mapper grayscale. Select that. Color to color float fill B box or guide. Connect that to the float fill, and we need to have a input. The float fill mapper, it's going to map whatever shape you connecting to the input pattern to the original pattern. So let me quickly show you. If I create a, let's say, shape. Oh, let me duplicate this shape. So it's Ctrl D. Duplicate the original shape. Add too much blur. Then let me copy this slope blur. Where is it? Here. Slope blur grayscale. Throw D. move that down, feed that to the grayscale, right? D to undock, and add more intensity. This is not a good input, so let's change that to cloud 2. It's going to destroy the edges based on how much grayscale value and gradient you have here from dark to white. So if you wanted to have more of this effect, let's go to Blur HQ grayscale and add more blur. Not that much though. Now we have more of that effect going on. Alright, now let's connect that to a level. Play with the handles to make something like this. Or maybe not level this time. Let's use histogram scan. Same deal with two control, a position value and a contrast value. Right? Now, this effect is a little bit too fine for me. So let's add a transform between cloud and blur slope and divide that. As you can see, if I divide the effect or divide the input, it's gonna make the, oh, not divide, sorry. Yeah, make that bigger. To create more harsh shapes. Alright, now let's fit the new shape to the float fill mapper. As you can see, it's gonna map the new shape to the old shape. And we have some controls, a little bit like the tile sampler. So for this one, I need to increase the height outside of the box. So let's say two times. And change the Y position. All right. A little bit of random X position. And a little bit of random rotation. Now we have a little bit something look like this. All right, now if I add a if I invert this shape, first of all, invert grayscale this shape, we have something like this. And create a blend, put this one in the front, put the original tile to the back, then do a subtract operation. As you can see, we are destroying the original tiles. Now let's fit that the height blend. So as you can see, we have a tile damaged effect. So let's change that a little bit. For example, maybe use a cube 3D for input. So space cube 3D. Alright, just like we did with the square input, let's duplicate the blur, connect that to cube 3D. Now we have a blurred cube 3D, and we have control over the cube 3D shape, as you can see, just like that. Now let's feed that to slope blur. Now we have a shape random, just like you see here. If I double click on histogram scan, one click on a cube, I can change the shape by changing the direction. Alright, now let's go to the mapper. Scale that a little bit more. And random position of Y. And here in the 3D view, we have some destroyed tiles. Maybe a little bit less on the slope blur. Alright, something like I'm looking at here. See, we have a little bit issue, and now we don't have that problem. So, alright, now let's create another height blend. Put this one in foreground, this one in background, and this is our height blend for tile versus this is blend. So this is our height blend, mortar versus tiles. So let's feed this one to the background. Now we have a nice looking background, just like this. All right. Back to shape mapper or float fill mapper. If I go to position and change the Y position, as you can see in 3D view, we're getting that effect. Just like a garage door can quickly close and open. Let's change the position offset alignment to pattern. Now we have a little bit more realistic control, but I prefer the textures, so yeah. Maybe a little bit of randomness, then a little bit of tile destroyed. Little bit of rotation. Alrighty then. Now let's control this effect, this broken tile effect. First of all, let me hit D, duck all of this. Maybe this is good. This goes down and this goes up. All right. This is a invert and this is our blend. All right. Good. And that's our height blend. This is all cement. Even this one, so let me put that up as well. All right, a little bit nicer to look at. All right, now let's add a randomness first. So let's create another float fill, or use same float fill, then combine that with float fill random grayscale. Where is it here? Float fill to random grayscale. Connect the float field and it's gonna make a random tile based on that float field. And float field is based on original tile. So a little bit of chain. So now let's add a histogram select. Histogram select, it's going to have three different exposed parameters. One for the position, one for range, and one for the contrast. Now we selected this much tile. So first of all, get a blend. This goes to background, this one foreground, and change the blending mode to something like maybe subtract or something. We connect that to this shape. Now we have three or four clean tile, one here, also one at the middle, and we can change the amount of not destroyed tiles or clean tiles by changing the range of the histogram range or histogram select. So here inside the 2D view, as you can see, if I go all the way up, getting this much effect. And now we have a little bit control over the randomness of the destroyed tiles. Also, if I double click on the histogram select, open up the attribute, not attribute, the base parameters, we have a random seed. So if I drag that, as you can see, we have some random thing effect here. It's not changing. Maybe this is a bug. Maybe it's the last version right now, so it might have some bugs. So ignore that. So now let's control over the overall destroyed shapes by adding another blend. Connect that to background and create a gradient linear one. Here, a nice ramp. After that, you need to have a histogram scan to control the ramp. Here, connect that to histogram and play with position and contrast. All right, connect that here. Now subtract. Now we have destroyed tile only at the bottom and have a control over that with the gradient position. No damage tile or all the way up to the top. And also have a little bit of control over randomness of damage tiles. So let me put that to 0.5 in the half. Nice. Duck this inputs and let's move them over here. So all right, our height input almost done. We need to have a little bit of crack also. So let me add a crack by using one of my own creations, combined with something that I downloaded from Substance community. So Let me quickly find them. Alright, those two are the Grunge randomizer that I created and crack generator. So let me find them and open them here. So let's go to File, Open. Here, first of all, crack. It's an old substance and it's gonna be updated. So hit yes. And also let's open up the Grunge randomizer. All right, those are loaded here inside Explorer. All right, if I'm gonna use these two, I need to put them inside tile, broken tile for reference, and yeah, let's do that. Right click on the graph and create a where is it? New folder. Maybe change the name to, I don't know, helper. And grab these two graphs and put them inside helper. Now close, do package, no, and close, and don't save that. All right, now we have these two inside this package. So let me grab the crack generator, put it here, and Grunge randomizer here. All right. Now double click on crack generator, change the distance a little bit, this order, separating, and no edge fade, and length. All right, something like this. And also let's invert the effect to something like this. Now the tile Grunge randomizer, it's working based on a float field. So I need to connect the original tile to the tile input, and my grunge or whatever I need to scatter on the surface of the tile to the background, to the grunge. So if I do that, and I'm going to go back to the crack generator, then Grunge randomizer, as you can see, it's gonna scatter the effect through the tiles and get rid of that tiling issue or repeating issue. So let me make the cracks smaller, a little bit finer with the softness. All right, now let's go here after the height blend, I guess. Get a blend node, put the height blend to the background, the crack to foreground. Oh, not here. Grab all of these, transfer them here, and with the subtract and less opacity. All right, connect that to, it's not connecting because it's connecting the connected after the height blend, so we need to disconnect that first. Blend that to the original tiles. Now let's connect that to this shape here. As you can see, we're getting some cracks. All right, this is not right, so we need to map that crack also based on where is it, here, histogram. So let me quickly duplicate this histogram. Move that down, make it less contrasty. All right. Now, after generating cracks, let's create a blend and subtract the new shape. Or now, multiply that to have the cracks only in some places, not all the way. All right. If you need to control the crack based on the height, just like we did in here, you need to make the copy of this shape. Let me quickly select this same shape here and also the cracks. Now we have crack only at the bottom. Then connect that to blend. All right. As you can see, we have cracks only at the bottom. So nicely done. And duck. Don't duck this one. All right, let me organize the graph a little bit so we can see more clearly. If you stuck in some situation like this, you can always use Alt to add points on the line. So hit Alt, hold Alt and click and make a point. Put this point down here, Alt click and put this point down. Now we have this kind of connection. All right. That's good. It's almost done. So maybe, what is this? Oh, that's caused by height blend, I guess. Yeah, that's a cement below. All right, that's good. Now, let me add a little bit of detail here at the edge of the destroyed area. So we have that right here inside this mask. But let's add that before this mask. So push this forward a little bit. Create a blend. This one goes to background. And maybe something like, I don't know, cloud. Maybe 3 this time. Connect that to foreground. Then use multiply. Now let's use a cloud 1 with a little bit of a scale. Then let's connect that to background. And see the before and after by changing the opacity. It's a little bit nicer. So let me put that in 0.5 value. Good. And if you wanted to destroy even more these fine shapes, you can add, let me move this one out, dark here. You can add another slope blur after the original destroyed tiles, and maybe use the same cloud, the cloud 1 with a little bit of tiling. Change the slope blur to mean, sample all the way up and intensity down. Oh, I did the mistake. I did connect the inputs backward. So if I wanted to switch them, you can select this two and hit X and reverse the connection. Little bit less intensity. Let me zoom over here. Now let me connect that. It's a little bit too much, so maybe a smaller value. Let's check before and after. This is before and this is after. A little bit detail at the edges. All right, it's nice. All right, now normal. So far we made the normal here inside height to normal based on input height, and nothing wrong with that. But if you wanted to add more detail at the surface, you need to work with normal and add a little bit on top. So, for example, a little bit of detail surface. And that would be done with the, that can be done with the noise. Convert that to normal, then combine with the existing normal. So the best noise to create surface details or fine or micro details is BMW. So BMW 3. Another nice noise to make a surface detail is, I forget the name. Let me go to texture generators and let's see. Here, the fractal sum, but with a little bit of twist. You see this white area, these two rectangular shape. Let's get rid of them by increasing the mean level. Something like this. All right, let's test them both. We need to have another height to normal, so let's click on this, Ctrl D, duplicate, and change the input to new noise. This is the BMW noise converted to normal value, and this is the fractal sum. I prefer the BMW, so it's that. If you wanted to get rid of this black and white area and normalize the whole thing, or make the average shape, you can use a, where is it, high pass grayscale. Connect that to high pass and zoom really close and change the radius to make something like this. Before, after. Let's check that on height to normal value. Now we have a uniform BMW noise. Let's connect that and combine that to original normal. We have several options to combine the normals together. One of them called combine, normal combine, top to top, bottom to bottom, and it's going to combine the whole thing together, and doesn't care for the tiles or cement, so that's not the best option for us. Another one would be the normal blend. Where is it? Normal blend. Top to top, bottom to bottom. Nothing happens because this node needs to have a mask input. So where is our mask? Here inside the height blend, but inside the output mask of height blend. This is a mask after blending, so we need to add the surface to this mask output, but it's a little bit harsh in the edge, so let's add a blur HQ grayscale, soften that quality all the way up, and let me zoom really close, intensity a little bit. All right, that's our mask. So let's put that here, connect that to mask input, and as you can see, combining all together. All right, we need to drop the opacity a little bit. Now we have a surface at the on the tiles only, so let's transfer the connection to the normal output, holding shift, drag and drop, and now this is our surface normal value. Let's drop that even more. All right, now another way to combine is to use a normal blend node. Create a blend node, mask to mask, back to back, and foreground to foreground. By default, with the copy of a blending mode or blending mode set to copy, it's acting like the normal blend. But you can switch to add sub to have more details before and after. Now let's drop the opacity down, really down. Transfer the connection. And that's done. Prefer using the blend, the normal blend, so not normal blend, the normal blend or the basic blend. All right, now we have our normals. Let's break the normal. Let's see. Here, let's combine that with another noise before converting that to actual normal. I'm looking for something like, where is it? Ground rust, maybe. Create another blend. This is going to back and forward and multiply with less opacity. and add a little bit of balance. Then connect that to normal, convert that to normal, and get a little bit different normal value. All right, let's hit D to dark the inputs. Okay, now let's add another normal value on top. Something like maybe at this node, combining with a cloud or something. This goes to background of the blend. And let me find the cloud 2. Multiply. Add a little bit of scale. All right, now let's test the multi-directional grayscale with this one and the cloud. And this can act as a dirt for us. So, but not in this arrangement. So let me change something. Put this one down a little bit. First, change this grunge, then connect that to the same cloud. All right. Now, the previous arrangement was better. Yeah, this is a little bit nicer. All right, now let's Control D, make a duplicate of this height to normal. And as you can see, this is the result. All right, now let's make a duplicate of this grunge randomizer, or just simply drag and drop the grunge randomizer to the scene. Put it here before normal. Connect that as grunge. And use this tile as input tile. And now we have some randomness. Convert that to normal. Right? Let's make a duplicate of this blend with add sub as blending mode. This one goes to background. No mask this time. It goes to foreground. And a little bit more opacity. Now we have some artifact going on at the surface. Maybe a little bit less. Shift, drag the connection. And yeah, that's that. But this is a destroyed version of the tiles. So let's put a mask between these two. So we have a mask here, somewhere here. Here, the gradient. So let's quickly make a blend, connect that to mask, or not mask, connect that to foreground, grab this one, put it up here. This goes to background, then subtract. right. I don't like this artifact going on here, so let's see what we can do here. Let's connect that back and bypass on this one. Let me hit D and duck some of these. All right, and let's put that normal maybe before combining this together. So this one goes to back. We have that same artifact going on. Maybe adding a little bit of blur here. It's not a bad idea. So let's create a blur, grayscale, and I need to copy or move this. Where's the foreground input to this new blur? So Shift for move, Control for copy. Simple as that. All right, now because of a little bit of tiling issue down here, we can see the up top area of blur node. So for the blur node, let's go to attribute, or now the base parameters, tiling mode, change that to absolute so we can change the tiling mode, and no tiling. All right, now we get rid of that tiling issue, right? And that's the line, it's disappearing. All right, now here inside the normal and here we can't see that effect. Now let's connect that to new surface. All right, we have a little bit more destroyed area at the surface comparing to this tile. So let me go and quickly change the roughness, add a little bit more glassiness, and Control Shift, right click, and rotate the light. All right. Let's add another normal related node to have a control over overall power of the normal. So space, type normal, and normal intensity. Connect that. Shift, connect that, and now it's gonna pass through the whatever normal we connected to input, but we have a little bit of control over the X output. Sorry, drop that or increase the normal intensity. All right, that's good. We have a little bit of issue at the edges here. That's because let me see and find the error. Here we need to add a blur after blending this destroyed tiles. So we quickly add a blur HQ grayscale, quality all the way, and little bit blur. Let's go to the normal, and it's smooth now. Maybe a little bit more smooth. 0.4, yeah, it's good. D for dark. And we move the normal section here. All right. Little bit more ambient occlusion for fake shadow in 3D view. A little bit less normal from this part. Also this surface detail. Nice. Alright, that's our normal value. And let me quickly add a frame to make that more organized. Select the whole height, and not this one. This is our wholly height blend, so let's keep that out of the frame. Select all, right click, add a frame. Change the frame name to height. And also change the color to something else. Select the whole normal, right click, add a frame, call that normal, move the whole frame a little bit over here. All right, select this one and frame, height and blend. All right, it's good. Next, let's add a little bit of roughness variation. All right, roughness time. So roughness is basically a value between 0 and 1. If I want to demonstrate that, you can go to base material, and here inside the roughness glassiness area, a little bit zoom out, take the light. If I go towards black, it's gonna be all glassy. And roughness and glassiness basically are the same map, and but inverted. So here we have all the way glass, or less rough, or all the way rough and less glassy. So with that information, let's go add less glassy to the cement area and cracked area, and more glass to the tiles. So we need to have several input grayscale value, like you see here inside the base material, and several mask to correspond to those areas. So we need to have uniform color, so hit space U and uniform color. It's a color, we need to have grayscale value, so in the parameters property, switch that to grayscale value. This is black, means all the way glassy. So this is our base roughness, so let's put that in float, and 0.5 at the middle. Oh, not 5. Oh, not float, sorry. 0.5 at the middle. All right, now create another one or hit Ctrl D, duplicate. Let's make this bottom one, the base roughness, a little bit rougher. This one goes to tiles, so let me decide from bottom to top. So let's add roughness to the cement area first. Cement area mask is almost every area or all areas. So create a blend node, connect that to background, connect that to foreground, and let's use the tile. Where is it here? Tile mask. We already created a blurred version, so let's reuse that. Grab the output and connect that to mask. Now we have something like this. Rough at the bottom and a little bit glacier to the top. Alright, let's go to base material and expose the roughness. Now we have roughness input. Connect this new roughness here. Rotate the light by holding Ctrl Shift and right click. Alright, now let's go to the top uniform color for the tiles. Add more glassiness. So 0.2 for tiles. And that's good for the cement. Yeah, not bad. Alright. If you wanted to add more variation, grab this one, add a blend. This one goes to background. Maybe in here, let me find a suitable mask. Let's use the output. Add a histogram select to select just part of the output, like this. Grab this one, put it here and use that as a mask. Duplicate the uniform color, make it less rough. Connect that to foreground. Now we have a little bit of randomness to the cement. So now connect this one to the back. Now if I rotate the light, you can see that it's slightly less roughness. Let me add more glassiness here. Now you can see that. All right, nice. All right, next step is the cracks. So let me create another blend, connect this one to the back and use the cracks mask. Duplicate, connect that to foreground and make it a little bit more rough. Shift, grab, transfer the connection. Now we have this kind of stuff. All the way rough, little bit glassy, much glacier, then cracks, much rougher. So let me hit D and D and deduct them here. and alt click on this line, move that over here. One more, alt click. All right, maybe move all of this here, and alt click on this line also. Let's move that here. This is our roughness basically, but we need to work a little bit more on that. New blend. This is optional, by the way. So now let's add a little bit more variation to the tiles. So let me delete that first. Move this crack one over here, and let's see. Yeah, let's add a blend here. Connect these after the roughness for tiles. And let me see, another blend. Control copy this tile mask, this tile with the little bit of blur. And let me find a grunge, something like this. And add that to front. Add this one to back. Less balance for the new grunge, and also less opacity. All right. Also, it's a little bit uniform. You can see the continuous of the shapes, one tile to another. So let's grab another grunge. Use this mask as tile input here. This grunge as grunge input. And it's gonna make that tiled. Now let's connect the new grunge here. Connect this one to crack grunge, crack roughness, sorry. All right, a little bit more opacity. As you can see, that's appeared here. If you look really carefully here, these lines that you see in the 3D view here. All right, and yeah, that's pretty much the roughness. We might work a little bit more on that at the end. So let's mark all roughness and add a frame. Call that roughness. Maybe change the color as well. Select the outputs and let's move them, make more room here. And D for ambient occlusion. Alright, next step, the color value. So, alright, now a little bit of color on top. So, let's see. First of all, let's go just like the roughness from bottom to top. So I'm gonna up here create another blend. All right, put it up here, and let Let me quickly go and find a let's see, resource, and this photo. I'm gonna sample a color from this photo. So a gradient map to create a colored version of a grayscale map. Here we have a grayscale map for cement. Let me connect that to input. All right. Now double click on gradient map, open up the gradient editor. In here, pick gradient. All right, I'm gonna create a sample from the color. You can't see the color, so let me go in the PRF and unlock the canvas. Put this one to the canvas. Also the soil. Now let me lock the canvas and zoom here. All right, let me put it right here so you can see what's happening. Make it a little bit smaller, maybe down here. All right, now we can see the 2D view, sample, and gradient option. All right, double click, open up the gradient editor, pick through black or darkest area towards the whitest area. Get a sample, maybe change this option a little bit. It's gonna make gradient with all the color that you just sampled. Let me zoom really closely and sample again from this area only. Not that bad, but not that good either. No? Alright. Seems like we don't have enough grayscale detail to sample all the colors. So there's a solution to that. This blend. Let me move the input value to background. Create a, I don't know, the fractal sum 1. Not sum 1. Fractal sum base. All right. Remember this guy? We need to increase the min level to equalize everything. Connect that to foreground. Then either drop the opacity or make that multiply. Now we have a little bit more detail. Let's go for copy and dropping the opacity. Now let's connect that to input gradient. Immediately we're getting more details. So let's open up the editor, sample again. And maybe a little bit more opacity from this blend. Again, sample. This is not bad, but it's a little bit too light. So let me go and add a HSL or hue saturation lightness. Connect that, make it a little bit darker, just like that, and less saturated. Not bad. Maybe change the hue a little bit. Darker. And yeah, something like that. Not bad. This is going to be our cement base color. So let's add a little bit of variation to that. Another blend. This one goes to back. And let's see, maybe a simple color space U, make a uniform, and maybe make it some color like this thing. Connect that to foreground. And for the mask, let's go for maybe something like this one. Connect that to the mask. And now we have something like this. Let's change the blending mode to maybe something like add linear. The color picker goes open up the other screen. So alright, something like this. Drop the opacity for blend to make it more blend together. And also a little bit of dark dots. So another blend. This time let's use the same color HSL. So I'm gonna use create another HSL, connect this HSL to another HSL, bypass this blend, connect that here, then multiply that, or maybe not multiply it, hit it, keep it on copy, and B and W spot 3 for mask. Now double click on blend, one click on HSL, make it darker. Alright, that's our cement. For the tiles, alright, create another blend. This one goes to back. We have a blend, a blurred version of tiles. So let's use that for mask. And a color. So U. And let's make a nice yellow color. Connect that to foreground. And there you go. You have yellow tiles. Now inside the base material, let's release or expose the base color as well. So I'm gonna grab the output here and connect that to input base material. Alright, we have some coloring going on here. It's a little bit too dark for the cement. So let me bypass this dots. Shift and yeah, that's the problem. So for the black dots, I'm gonna do some changes. I'm not gonna use this HSL, and I'm gonna connect the BNW spot directly to blend for color. And if I connect the grayscale value to a colored value, it's not gonna work. So we have one and one option only. So just grab that gradient and immediately it's gonna convert to a white, a colored version. So now we can connect that back. inside this blend, let me change the blending mode to mean or darken, shift and transfer. Also less opacity. D for dark, and here. Alright, now let me change the tile color a little bit. Alright, that needs to have a little bit work, so first of all, let me find the edges for the damaged areas. So from here, maybe, yeah, this is better. So let me add a height to normal and grab the output of float fill mapper, create a normal based on that area, convert this normal to a curvature smooth normal. Alright, now let's add a level on top, auto level, and play with the handles to target only these edges. So let's grab whole thing and move it up. D and D here. Alright, let's grab, first of all, we need to mask that to only appear in this area. So blend, use this gradient and subtract. Alright, now we have only this damaged area. Now let's move that up, use that as a mask after the yellow color. So put this here, another blend, yellow goes here, this goes to mask, and another uniform color of something light. Let me see what I did wrong. Oh, I used this one. I need to use this mask, so let's see here. All right. Another blend. Let me move this one up. Or maybe let me duplicate this operation, the height to normal, curvature smooth, and level. Feed that with this new map. Before connecting to height to normal, let's invert. Where is it? Invert grayscale. Alright, now we have something like this. Let's connect that to previous setup. Alright, now we have a little bit of edge here. Add sub that, linear dodge add, delete all of this, shift and transfer connection. This is the new creation. So we have control over that edge by this level. All right, not bad. And another the edge of the each tile by using the ambient occlusion. So let's create another blend, connect that to background. And let's go see the ambient occlusion scenario situation. So let's add a level and target some areas. Maybe histogram select. Let me see. Histogram select. Yeah, this is much better. And only at the edge. All right. Create a blend. This one goes to back. Or not. Let's go to foreground. Use this tile mask as a mask. All right, something like this. Let's grab this to new mask. Disconnect this one. I'm gonna put that before the edge color. So here, connect this one to background. This is mask and Control D, create a copy of uniform color, make it a little bit darker. As you can see here. And let's make the blending mode, change the blending mode to multiply. Put that to background. All right, now let's drop the opacity a little bit. And let's change the tile color to something lighter. Yeah, maybe somewhere around here. All right, now let's use the Where is it? The same mask as roughness. And find that mask. Yep, this mask. Create a blend connected to a mask. This one goes to back. First of all, we need to subtract or multiply this mask to the tile. So that's that. Connected as mask and another uniform. Maybe a dirt color. Alright, something like this. Maybe add a little bit of blur, not blend, a blur. Grayscale HQ. Then connect that to mask. And no, I don't like that. The issue is here. Maybe let's drop the opacity. No. Let me add a blur. Alright, that's done. Drop the opacity here. Now let me move the connection. And change back the color to that yellow. Add more dirt. All right, let's continue. Let's go to the tile roughness and make it a little bit more glassy. And maybe change the lighting HDRI. So let's go to the library, 3D view, HDR environment, and maybe change that to something nicer. Little bit less dirt. Maybe, yeah, a blue color. Not that much surface, so go here and drop the normal for this one, and also for this surface to 1 only. All right, that's good. And for these parts, the damaged tile, we need to add another color. So here, that's not a bad mask. Can use the same mask and maybe sample the color from cement. And let's add linear dodge that part. Yeah, the multiply is good. And also, let's make the shape a little bit bigger, maybe 0.85. That's gonna destroy the float fill, because float fill works with black and white areas. So to resolve that problem, we need to add a histogram scan and find that fine black and white detail, feed that to float fill again. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. That's not really looking good, so let's go back. Maybe make the shape a little bit bigger. 1.3. Same problem. 1.25. Same problem. 1.21. Oh, 1.21. Not good. Maybe less height blend. Push the tiles a little bit out. Less blur. Then make the shapes a little bit bigger. Let me check the float fill quick. So the problem is the rotation. So let me drop the rotation a little bit. All right, now we have our damaged tile back with a little bit of twist. We change the range and have more tile. All right. Also, change the height blend. Let's take that back. and a height blend for mortar. I guess here, yeah. Let's push that out. All right, now for the original tile sampler, let's copy the same gradient from here and connect that to mask map input to mask some of the tiles here inside color mask map threshold. All right, let's go back and change the position. All right. Good. Now let's add another color variation. Again with the height to normal. Followed by a curvature smooth from this mask. Add a level on top and let's find the edges. All right, and let's put that, let me see. Let's put this mask before this edge color mask. After the tile color. So let's create a blend. This goes to mask and let's use the same color as tiles, linear dodge. Or maybe something like max. No, linear dodge it is with less opacity. Maybe add a little bit more dirt. All right, and let's change the position of that. Edge damage. Not bad. All right, now let's see what we can do to make the edges a little bit more interesting. We bypass this part. and let's work a little bit on this part. So I'm gonna reuse the, not this fractal, no. So I create another loop, and after everything we did for the tiles, let's add another slope with a cloud 2. Set that to min, sample, and less intensity to destroy the tiles even more, and transfer the connection. Alright, maybe less intensity, 0.1. And a little bit of disorder. And also let's work with the cloud by adding a blend cloud to the back. And let me see what we have here. Maybe using this one. Multiply. Less opacity. Or maybe subtract. No. Let's use Perlin noise. Multiply that. Alright. That's more like it. Now let's use the ambient occlusion to make some dust shapes. So let's go and add a blend. Histogram select. Connect the ambient occlusion to histogram select. And let's find these areas. All right. And let's blend a fractal, some base with a multiply. D and D, and let's put that up here. Create another blend, use this one as mask. This one goes to back. Another uniform. And let's use that to make it another level of dust or dirt or whatever. Yeah, that's more suitable for the dirt. So use subtract and drop the opacity a little bit. Right now, let's create some version for color. So create a multi-switch color this time. Maybe add 2 or 3 input. Default input is this color. Control D and make another version. Maybe something like this. Control D and another version, maybe something white. Connect them. Then connect that to inputs. Now we have option to change the input selection and have different colors. We go to material, edit, and add a little bit more height. And maybe change this color to something a little bit darker, lighter, sorry, here. All right. Let's go back to blue color. All right, and let's add maybe another blend node. Let's find something with dots. Right, not bad. Gradient, and connect that to the color. Go and change the blending mode. Let's drop the opacity a little bit, and let's connect that to output. We change the input. Now we have a little bit more variation, the color. All right, next stop, rendering this shape. Okay, first of all, let me create a frame, call this frame a color. All right, now for rendering a material inside Substitute Designer, we have two options. One of them would be using a node called PBR render. It's gonna take your output materials or output channels and also a environment light map, HDRI, and output the beauty, raw, and some other rendering passes. So first of all, we need to go to PBR render and here hide specular. Yeah, let's select the base material, hit 3 to combine the outputs, grab that and connect that to input material. If I hit 1, as you can see, it automatically connected the all of the outputs to input for render. As you can see here inside the 2D view, we have some rendering going on. We need to have a environment map. So let's go to library, 3D view, and HDRI. Let's find a HDRI, drag and drop it inside graph, and let's use import. Connect that to environment input. Let me expand the 2D view. Double click on render. We have several options: shape, plan, sphere, and also a cylinder. Alright, now displacement intensity, let's drop that a little bit more. Environment rotation. Alright, let me go back and add more blur. Make the shapes a little bit round and interesting. Alright, let's go back to PBR. And let me change the input for HDRI to something a bit more light, and yeah, that's good. The interior, what was that called? Bus garage. So now shape. Scale the shape. Let's scale that down a little bit to see the whole situation. Rotation, it's for shape, so it's located inside shape section. Camera, exposure, we don't need to see that. All right, the environment, let's blur the background. All right, nice. And a background mode is environment. Let's change that to color, something dark. Depth of field, yeah, let's not use that. Post pro, let's enable the post production. Bloom intensity, we don't have metallic parts, so it doesn't show up. And a lens flare or lens dirt, yeah, I like that. Render setting, let's change the sample to 128. Material adjustment, recompute normal. No, that's too harsh. And subsurface scattering, we don't have something like that. All right. All right, that's one way to render. Another, where is it? Go there, go there. Oh, let me close this. Another one. All right. Now let me rearrange that. This time we need 3D view, so let me position the shape and switch the renderer from OpenGL to iRay. It's gonna change a few things, so let's go to material default. It's gonna enable the DirectX normal by default, so let's go back to OpenGL and maybe add a little bit of height. It doesn't have enough subdivision to show the shape correctly, so let's go to scene edit, change the method for subdivision to parametric and increase the number. Alright, now let's quickly multiply the ambient occlusion on top of the color. So color goes to back, ambient occlusion goes to a gradient map, then here, and multiply. Here, stir up the opacity a little bit. Shift and transfer the connection to make the shape a little bit darker. Alright. If you change the shape at any time, you need to go back to the scene, edit, and change the method. Add more subdivision level. Right, let's go to environment, edit, and enable the ground. Move the ground a little bit up. All right. Now let's rotation the dome. All right, now let me add more normal surface. Also another. All right, not bad. And change the color input. Maybe more dirt. And the dirt is here. Alright, that's the broken tile material, a simple version. You can add endless color variation or normal variation. I wanted to make a quick setup and show you how to do it. So inside the render, edit, just set up the min sample, max sample, maybe 1000, and max time. Let's go for 10 minutes, 600, and leave that to be cleaned and finished. Here, iteration 1000, and maybe more, maybe 2000. It's gonna quickly go and reach the 2000 or reach the max time. Then simply go to camera and save render and render that. Somewhere. Let me open up the render. Oh. We save that again. Desktop. And it's gonna save your render just like that. Alright, done.